Flash flooding for the southern plains and the southeast, a marginal risk for damaging winds and hail, more tropical disturbances, and the return of smoke. Good morning, I'm meteorologist Pew. Today is August 11, 2025. Starting with flash flooding, the Weather Prediction Center issued a slight risk or a 2 out of 4 in the southern plains and the Florida Panhandle and also the Carolinas. In terms of severe weather, it's relatively calm compared to the last few days where we only have a marginal risk to see isolated wind and hail. Starting with the northern plains, you can see scattered storms around 3 p.m. Central Time today. For the central plains and Midwest, you guys are already seeing convection from last night, but this will start dissipating by 1 p.m. Central Time. But we may see redevelopment of isolated to scattered cells traveling northeast into northern Missouri, eastern Iowa, southern Wisconsin, and northern Illinois. And some of these storms may persist overnight as well. Going down to the southern plains for New Mexico, it looks like things are going to start around 2 p.m. Mountain Time. And for places like Texas and Oklahoma, we can start seeing stuff around 5 p.m. Central Time. And this does look like it's likely to persist overnight and into next morning. For the southeast, especially the Florida Panhandle and the Carolina coast, we can start seeing storms develop by this afternoon and pretty much throughout the day. Less so during the night, but this will also continue by next morning and late afternoon. For rainfall totals in the next 24 hours for the southern plains, it looks like 1 to 3 inches. And for places like the Florida Panhandle and the Carolinas, it looks like 1 to 3 inches and 4 inches in isolated places. And now for the tropics. Actually, while editing this video, the National Hurricane Center has officially announced Tropical Storm Erin. And we'll probably have a much better idea of its projected path by this weekend. And last but not least, for the northern plains, you guys are seeing smoke today, unfortunately, but this will dissipate by today as the storms pass through. And this is caused by a really small trough in the jet stream at 300 millibars away up at the troposphere that's pulling in the wildfire smoke from Canada into the northern plains. And you guys recently saw high pressure, which is associated with sinking motion, that just dropped that smoke down into your area. And now for the causes of the severe weather today, starting at 500 millibars midway to the troposphere, today's biggest theme is troughs. All you gotta know about these troughs is that they're all associated with pretty decent shear that's gonna tilt the updrafts and prolong the storms that do develop and also promote upward motion. So looking at these troughs, we have one in the northern plains, we have a really small one in the Midwest, we have another one in the southern plains, another one stretching from the southern plains to New Mexico, and we even have one in the southeast as well. Something I do want to point out today is that the shortwave trough in New Mexico looks like the models are suggesting that it's going to develop a vorticity max, which basically means a strong area of circulation or spin. And this is going to travel to the southern plains and it's going to promote the convection and the rainfall in this area. Another thing that all these shortwave troughs have in common is that they're all associated with some kind of cold frontal boundary. And all these cold frontal boundaries are going to help promote surface lift. So now we have surface lifts and we have mid-level upward motion. And again, for the southeast, I feel like it's been like this for an entire week straight, where we have a low pressure somewhere in the Gulf that's just recycling the warm, moist air from the Atlantic and the Gulf. And if we take a look at satellite imagery, we have clear skies in the northern plains and from the south and from the Mississippi Valley. And we know in these places we have those south to southwesterly winds. So with the diurnal heating, more surface heating, and more instability, that's going to be advected into these areas of concern. And that's why we have